Before we get started, please take the time to like, add, and subscribe to our pages on YouTube, Facebook, Spotify, and iTunes. Also, please leave us a review. Oh, you were?
I was going to ask you at the very end, is the next 100 when we really do it and we see big?
No, it'll take, we'll be in it'll be episode 449. 449. We can wander our way over, because this is Wandering Ways.
What's Bigfoot possibility? Clink. What's up? How we doing? It's a big one. It's a special one. It is episode 100. 100. Oh boy, it's a biggie. Gonna just come out and say it. Didn't think we'd make it this far.
Yeah, no, personally working with you, I'm like, I don't know if we'll make it this far, but I'm surprised we have. It's because we record too much in advance. Like it helps. We have a library built up, so we're allowed.
We got dicey there for a minute.
Yeah, there's been some times. No, I think we're good. I think we're going forward. It looks good. I'm excited to be here. It's surreal because when you look at 100, it's like that's 2 years have passed essentially. Like we're coming up on another like anniversary coming up here at the end of this year. So that's great.
We are almost up to year number 2 being finished. Real question is, do we bring Matt Buddy back on?
For that one, I think we time it right with the Glacier stuff because Matt Buddy sometimes sucks when you don't really give him much to prepare for. And the Wanderers,
I wasn't sure if we bring him on every year anniversary we bring Matt Buddy on.
That's fine. I'm fine with it. But the Wanderers, we need to have something to talk about because they've given the feedback when Matt Buddy doesn't have anything to say, he's not fun.
No. No, not at all. But anyways, man, like, how you been?
Good. I mean, you're during when this episode comes out, kind of like
we've long gone.
Yeah, but like we've just got done from hanging out, so it's kind of interesting. So it's like you got to stay live with the socials to kind of see what we're doing in our normal lives. I think that kind of helps out if you guys want to see what we're like doing that moment. But I mean, you get to listen along to the stories kind of here. It's June. You're getting ready to come out to Montana. I know we're getting excited for that. So I know we have some good stuff coming for the Wanderers, for us. I mean, I'm excited. We're going to Glacier. We're going to Sealy. You're coming to Billings. We're going to find something to do in Paradise Valley. We'll figure it out. And it's getting exciting because it's Tuesday. We're recording this on a Tuesday, and it's like Friday. Mark's in Montana, guys.
Yeah, not only that, but I'm surprised it didn't make the list there either. But you are getting married.
Yeah, I didn't want to bring that up or your marathon just because, like,
the marathon is whatever, right?
We might got some creepers, and I don't know. I'm trying to be safe, but you're out here exposing my security. No, I'm just kidding. Yeah, that's coming up. But I don't know. Maybe that's why I've been like stress eating a lot. It's because that's coming up. But I don't know. Like I'm cool with it. Everything should be fine. I'm excited. It's just a lot. There's just a lot going on. There's a lot of people coming, a lot of questions, a lot of phone calls.
Oh, I'm sure. Sure.
Yeah. So.
Hey, but you know what they say? If you're lucky, this will be 1 of 5. So
1 of 5.
No. Yeah, outside. No, it'll be exciting going out to Montana. Finally get the Glacier stuff out to you. So pay attention to that in the coming weeks.
Oh, we haven't been there in a while. And like even just like the last few times with Tyler and Matt and Bobby, when we have done Glacier, we haven't really gotten to get into it. And hopefully this year, we're really hoping that we can get into it. Maybe you guys need to.
If there's a year that we get into it, it's this year.
And that's kind of the plan because I'm right now I'm uploading videos on the YouTube for you YouTube fans, which thank you. Shout out to you guys. I've noticed a lot more people have tuned in on the YouTube channel, which is great. So we've been showing out some shorts here and there. But I've been looking back at some of the Cracker Lake footage, and I'm dropping that. I'm like, that's kind of like the last time we were truly in Glacier, like where we got to go up inside of it. I mean, Avalanche Lake is nice, but that's kind of one you're around a lot of the tourists. And like I like to get into Glacier, and when I say that, it's getting off these trails, getting into that country a little bit. Um,
Yeah, you want to know what part of it I'm all really excited for is the way down from the chalet.
yeah, I'm glad I was able to convince you on that, because I'm super stoked for that. Where the plan is to take the Swift Current Pass. I mean, I think
I
that's
think we're gonna get what I always end up trying to look for, and that's a view from way up high down at a lake.
I mean,
I think we're gonna be able to get that.
I do too. And I don't know if you hear in the background here, but we got some thunder rolling through Billings right now. Super exciting stuff. So I might, that might be some cool shit later. Who knows? No, I'm excited, man. I am super stoked for Glacier. It sucks that like Yellowstone was going to be kind of part of it. We talked about, doing that with Jared, because Jared hasn't seen Old Faithful in a while, kind of figuring out with Matt Buddy kind of the plans. And it's interesting how things change, but that's life. You got to roll with the punches. You got to just take it as it comes, play with the cards you're dealt. You're never going to get new cards, just play with the ones you have. And that's what we're doing here. And I think it's going to get exciting, because thinking about I'm taking you guys down a dirt road, just drive back to Billings. We're just driving from one town to another here in Montana on a dirt road. And
the Yellowstone, having to change the plans because Yellowstone's underwater,
yeah,
really kind of plays into our forte. We talk about it all the time, always changing up plans, like things always something changes big. And so this time, I gotta say, this might be the earliest we've known about it.
yeah, and it doesn't make me happy for Glacier right behind it.
Yeah, I'm a little worried too. I mean, they're getting snow right now, so
that's what I mean, dog. That's what I'm saying. But it's supposed to warm up here, so hopefully it'll warm up there and
we
melt
got
a little
time,
bit of that
so,
off. Yeah, we got a couple weeks for that, but it's exciting. I'm excited to take you guys out into Montana and really explore it. You guys are out here for like 10 days, and you get to see the whole state over the course of those 10 days. You're going to be in the West, you're going to be in the East, back up in the West. So definitely exciting shit.
Yeah, for sure. But no, now I guess we really kind of what we're gonna do with this 100 special is we're gonna look back at the last 100, and we're gonna look forward at the next 100. Things we think will happen, things we think we'll see, things we hope to see, do, and say all in the next 100. But we're going to hit the brakes. We're going to hit the reverse button here real quick. And we're going to do the last 100. And I'm just going to come out, say it. Is there an episode out of the 100 that you're just like, that was a banger episode? There, I mean, there's 100 of, well, I guess 99. This is the 100th. But
banger.
There's a lot.
One of the bangers I think is, and this is gonna kind of throw you for a loop, is the one we recorded in not Ashland there, but Medford there at your home. I think that one really stands out because you and I walked away from that interview just like, what the fuck did we just do, man? Like, that was weird. We were just staring at each other the whole time. Felt awkward. It didn't feel right. Didn't feel normal. And like, it stands out because it's like, I listened to that episode after, I was like, that was really good. Like, what did we do wrong? I even had Jared listen to it. I said, Jared, you need to check this one out. And he's like, I don't see what you're saying, man. Like, it is fine. Like, it's good. And I think what stands out and what I like about that one is it's just like, yeah, like we get in these rhythms, but it's like we felt something wrong about that episode, and it turned out to be a good episode. So we're finding those little things that it's like we're starting to pick and choose what's wrong with the episode, and with help from our wanderers too, when they chime in and say, no more Matt Buddy, or yes, Matt Buddy, and we listen. It's like more cowbell, right?
Exactly. No, 100%. Yeah, that one definitely stands out in ones that like true episodes that kind of stand out. I guess if I had to find one that really kind of stood out for me, oh shoot. I mean, maybe the Rick Rells interview. That's the one that really
I
stands
mean,
out.
I get it because it's really interesting to get a Bigfoot researcher like them. I know Squatch. I actually got the sticker right here. Shout me out. I'll send you a sticker that I know Squatch designed with the Rougarou in mind, which is great. Um, and yeah, I get you on that one.
It
Like,
was just it was a different interview. I think it's one of our better, well done interviews that we've had.
right.
And I think just it was so different from anything we had done either. So that's what made it stick out more.
Yeah, no, I get that. I like it. It was kind of our one of our first, like, not really knowing someone first before interviewing them. So to get that kind of, and to have a professional like Rick to do a good job on interview, because you never know what you're going to get with some of these.
Mhm.
Um, I get you. I like that. I mean, is that your favorite interview we've done? That's kind of another question I had was,
No, it's
what
not
is,
my favorite one that we've done.
so
Uh,
it's just one of the ones that stands out to you,
yeah, it just stands out.
which makes sense because that's usually one of the ones we reference the most.
It is. Now, mine when it comes to favorite interview, that was just a little bit ago with James talking bikes.
Dude, and that one's blowing up on YouTube too. I'm noticing all the bikers are like into
Yeah, I
it.
really talking to James, talking about the Tour Divide. He talks about that girl, that Wilcox, that endurance biker in it.
Yeah.
I, of course, got her on the Instagram, following her. She does some crazy shit, man. She just pedaling along on her bike, just nonstop. You're like, what the hell?
That's awesome. That's you though too.
Not that crazy.
Because my favorite interview was the YOLO interview, and part of
Oh,
why it's my favorite is you lost half of it,
yeah, that's the secret tapes of Wandering Ways. So
and it was the better half of the interview because YOLO warmed up later on in the episode.
that was a
Um,
really good interview.
it was good. I mean, it was good to have that one, um, to get his perspective on an American park and compare it to an African park like that. Um, and then just kind of to share that with him because there's the one quote from YOLO that you and I have where he's just like, I don't go into nature, Zach and Mark. Like,
Yeah.
that's you guys. Like, go for it.
Yeah.
But to have like that shared experience with him in nature, and years later, and to be like, oh gosh, this is kind of cool, to now reminisce and look back on that. No, I like that. I like, it's definitely when you're out here in Billings, maybe you and James, you gotta like go get a beer or something.
Oh yeah, maybe that. I don't know. I'm only in Billings for such a short time. Um, who knows what will happen? Who knows what I'll see? Um, but no, that one, the James interview was a top one. Loved Matt May. That was a great
Yeah.
interview.
Sonny
Ranger
was good.
Alexander. I loved all of our Ranger interviews, to be fair.
Right. No shock.
Yeah. Um,
Ray,
Sunny.
wildflowers with Ray. I like that one. That was a
Oh
good
yeah,
one.
yeah. Talking wildfires with Ray. That was a good interview. That was a fun one.
Yeah.
Um,
The Tyler one kind of sucked in person.
yeah, well, Tyler's an awkward kid. He's less awkward now, but he was an awkward kid back then. I don't think that kid would have talked like at all, really.
No, no. I'm interested. Him and Matt Buddy are riding back to Oregon from Montana together after they drop you off at the airport. So
Yeah, that's gonna be fun.
yeah, I told Tyler, yeah, you better record that. Just post that.
Yeah, make sure you follow his socials because that's where the real fun's gonna be.
Right.
So
Yeah. Any like non-favorite interviews? Go ahead. It's okay.
Non-favorite. Oh, now time's to pull out the T, huh? And do the non-favorites. Um, if I had to do one that I just wasn't super excited, there's two that really kind of stick out to me. There's our first wildfire interview with, I think it's Andrew, your cousin.
Yeah, second cousin. Yeah.
Yeah, that one just, I felt like we just touched the tip of that conversation.
Yes, I wanted to go into it more.
Yeah.
Like, and it was just kind of like, and you didn't want to pry too much with Andrew because like he almost was reserved about it in a way. But it was a very, I think it was a good one.
It was decent. It's just, when it comes to least favorites.
No, yeah, it's hard to, yeah, and what you said, there's another one too, huh?
Yeah, the what's the red sky guy?
Big Red Eye.
Yeah, big, yeah.
I think he listens, so
Oh,
I'm sorry that the Reverend hates you. No,
no,
I'm
I
just
don't
kidding.
hate. I just didn't like the interview.
The
Uh,
Reverend has banished you out of this kingdom.
no. The interview just wasn't my favorite. I felt like we could have got a little bit more out of that one too. Like none of them
No,
are my like I hate, but it's
no.
least favorite.
Yeah, no, I know. It's the question. It's the way I'm asking the question. And that's why, I mean, I would even throw Big Red Eye in there too, because it's just like, that's the problem I think with the Bigfoot community sometimes is you get into those interviews or you get into those conversations and they stray away from the adventure, from the Bigfoot research sometimes. And I feel like that one kind of, it got away from that. We wandered for sure.
Yeah, and I mean that's part of the gig, right? We want
Right.
that's that happens. That's one where you wish you kind of had more than an hour. You went into more than an hour in that interview.
No, exactly. I really like Cameron Puckett too, the park ranger from South Carolina. That was a nice interview. I don't know much about East Coast Park, so it's good to know about State Park out there in South Carolina.
Yeah, I don't know anything about him. So that was actually refreshing.
Right?
And that's what I think I enjoyed about Matt May too, is he's
Yeah.
East Coast. So it's just different. Him and Alexander, Alexander's in what is he, Kentucky?
Kentucky. Yeah.
So that it's all because it's all different land. Yeah, so
Exactly. No, yeah, I get you. I feel that. I feel that, dog.
uh moving forward with stuff from the last 100, is there a trip that we did in the last 100 episodes? So I guess last essentially 2 years,
Yeah.
or I don't know, maybe even trip we've talked about on the podcast.
Yeah, no, I like that. I like that because we do share some stories. We do share some trips on the podcast. But I mean, in the last 2 years, I think one of the better trips we did was the Olympic trip with me, you, and Matt Buddy. It's early on. It's even before we name episodes kind of like what they're about. It was kind of, we just gave them three different just things about the episode. It's like Olympic blueberries, or it's one of the Matt Buddy interviews. But
Yeah,
it was a good trip to Olympic Park.
I think it's
It was,
Adventures with Matt Buddy.
yeah, is the name of the episode.
Yeah.
I think you're right. And what I liked about it was my first experience with Olympic National Park. And it was, a good trip with us three. We had a Airbnb reserved for us. We were able to actually like spend time. The weather was great. Um, I like that one. If there's a trip that stands out, I mean, even the Hawaii trip, don't get me wrong, like that to me is another one that stands out because I'm glad we did the Big Island. I really am. That's almost like I'd almost skip Oahu sometimes to go back to like the Big Island.
Yeah, the Hawaii trip was the one that stood out the most to me in the last 100 that we did. Although that Olympic one was good. I had two Olympic trips that I really enjoyed. The one I did just by myself, and then the one I did with you and Matt. But Hawaii, going to the Big Island was kind of one of the bigger highlights of that trip. Oahu was great. Don't get me wrong. I'm super stoked about that. But if I were to go back, I'm not going to Oahu. I'm going Big Island and then probably Maui.
Yeah, try it. Yeah, just see some different stuff. No, I totally agree. No offense to Oahu. I've done it. Let's check something else
No,
out.
we had an amazing hike on that. That
Amazing time. Yeah.
so I loved it. But no, Olympic was nice. Olympic was kind of like, through this once this podcast started, that's when we were like, oh no, like Olympics legit, everybody.
I think so. I mean, even that, and then just like the couple of times we did the redwoods, there was the time, you and I just got back, and then the time with like Tyler too, going down there early on in the podcast.
Mhm.
Which going down to the redwoods is always a great time. And I think that was kind of it. It was us. Yeah, we're hitting the redwoods, we're hitting Olympic, we're hitting these like smaller parks. As long yeah, with the big ones like the Zions, the Yellowstones, the glaciers, but to really come home and start focusing on these smaller parks and getting into these smaller parks and doing multiple episodes on these and bringing in the ABCs even. um I think that's what helps with the trips, because like I was talking to Jared, it's like even Jared, me and him, we're both like, we're in Sealy, it was like we're outdoorsmen. Like, what do we do for fun? Let's go fishing, let's go canoeing, let's go raft, let's go do boat, let's go do this.
Mhm.
It's getting outside, it's going into nature. um and I think like it's just sharing that, it's just doing that, and the podcast has helped. It's almost like, okay, it's the weekend, where am I going?
No, yeah, for sure. For definite sure, you feel like you're going out a lot more because you feel like you have a reason to go out more. No, that for sure. The small trips have been been a lot of fun. I mean, Matt and I went to Lassen. That was a good time. Um, I mean, outside that, I did a bunch of stuff outside on my bike and running and stuff. So that like there's just a bunch of small ones there. A lot of times you're just struggling on the struggle of, or you're focusing on the struggle of breathing, so you don't take in the environment.
But you're also getting to learn your new community in Ashland and Medford there too, with those small rides. You're like, oh yeah, there is that hill you can go to.
100%. Because
So
in the span of this 100 episodes, I've been in three different places. Been Humboldt, Seaside, and now here in Ashland.
that's wild to think about. It's crazy because it's yeah, like you've been everywhere. We've been going, especially all over the Pacific Northwest, and that's you get some of these travel bloggers, Instagrammers, and podcasters sometimes, and they're not from these areas either. That's one thing I like about, like, you're from the coast in Oregon. I'm from Montana. I've been all over Montana my whole lives. And these are places people are trying to come to. And it's like, to speak from them from our perspective is kind of cool too. So these trips, even these little ones, mean a lot to people because they are going to hit that state park, or they are going to hit the coast, or I want to try that. I'm down in Ashland and I want to do a bike trail, Mark, because I want it. I've heard your podcast. I want to listen to it. I want to go see this spot. It's
Exactly.
there. It's cool. It's fun to see. Is there any least favorite trip, real quick, that you've been on?
Least favorite? Again, if we're going least favorite, this is staying with the still, I don't think I've had a bad one, but I'm gonna go off of least favorite. I'm trying to think of if there's one that really jumps out right away, and I am struggling.
That's good. If you think about it, that's real good. Mine's with Matt Buddy this last time to Olympic.
Yeah, I had a feeling that was gonna be yours.
Too much rain, and then just Matt Buddy, like, it's like, why am I driving 14 hours? I mean, go listen to that episode if you want to.
Maybe I'll go with, I went to Crater Lake one day.
Um,
And I'll say it's my least, mainly because I had planned for it to do a lot more. I planned to actually bike it, but my bike was not out of the shop yet, so I was unable to
And wasn't the
bike.
weather kind of bad still?
No, the weather was pretty good. It would have
Oh,
been a great day to do it, just didn't have the bike to do it with.
I see. I see one of those.
Yeah,
Nice.
that's what I would say would be my least favorite. I still had a heck of a time.
No, I get it. I get it. I had a good time in Olympic with Matt, but you know, you heard the stories.
So I was kind of thinking of getting into sport fishing again, but I feel like I need a good quality net.
Well, you know what, Reverend? I got the key solution for you. You know, our friends at Blue Ribbon Net make this eco-friendly aquafade bag, so you're not hurting the environment. It's 100% biodegradable. Plus, the wood is locally sourced and it is also biodegradable. And it's just such a great company to use. The Blue Ribbon Nets, they're here in Bozeman, Montana. And we even have a discount code. That's right. If you use the code Rougarou10, that's right. That's my Jeep, the Rougarou. Rougarou10, Rugaru10. You're going to get some discount on a Blue Ribbon net. You know, you can get the long one if you're fishing the big fish, or you can get just the good river one, you know, if you're like me and just want to catch a lot of fish.
So again, make sure you go check out Blue Ribbon and use the promo code Rougarou10.
Hey there, Reverend. I heard that you might be running dry on your sticker supplier.
Yeah, I've been looking around and I've kind of like run out of cool stickers to buy and put on water bottles and stuff.
Well, I mean, have you seen the stuff Josh has been coming out with lately?
No, I have not.
Well, he is doing some really cool stuff with the Shop LS 574. Yes, they're working with indigenous communities and making some really cool stickers. He has a really cool Buffalo Mountain sticker. There's even water bottles, hats, sweatshirts, the whole swag. And we even got a discount code for you guys. Yes, if you use Wandering Ways at Shop LS 574, you're going to be getting a discount on your next purchase. But not only that, you're going to be giving a percentage of that sale to the Little Shell Tribe, as well as they donate $1 of every sale to murdered and missing Indigenous women. So just such a cool thing going on there. You know, you use the code Wandering Ways, WANDERING WAYS, and you put that in there, boom, you're getting a discount.
Speaking of faves, least faves, well, not least faves, that's obvious. With this one, no, we're talking cool shit in nature time. And no, I'm not going back and picking my two favorite from the last 100. There's just so much cool shit out there. I have two new ones for you guys today. There's one I've really wanted to show you, and there's another one I really want to show you, but there's one I really, really want to show you and talk about, but it's the second one, not the first one.
They're all your favorites because like you can't pick. You just bring them all the time.
Very true. So this is called the Red Beach, which is in Hormuz Island, Iran. And I think this is just kind of really sick and cool how the water is red.
I think I have seen like videos and pictures from here before because it's just like I was like, oh yeah, it's in Iran. Like makes sense why like not easily accessible.
Yeah. I mean, it's super cool. The sand's like black, but he like pulls it away and it's like red and stuff.
That's so cool.
Yeah.
I'm like just I want to go.
It's very satisfying to watch him like with his feet in the sand.
Yes, 100%.
But no, this one's cool, and I didn't really want to show you this one. But the one I really, really want to show you, you have seen before, and you even wrote back, cool. So
it was this time lapse. Yes, we talked about this.
Yeah, it was the time lapse of like ice freezing, but from the underwater viewpoint.
Yeah, I thought it was like clouds at first, and then I saw like it was Then I realized it was ice because like, oh, the way it's coming down.
Yeah, I my first look at it too, I thought it was clouds. Because at the beginning, like the way it looks, and then like as you watch it, you go, oh no, that's underwater.
But it makes sense with like how like the layers form on top, just pushing those layers down.
Oh, right. It makes 100% sense, but like I never really thought about it like that it would go down or like the thickness would change. Like I just thought, oh, the ice is thick.
I bet too, it's also how like where this footage is taken, right? Because I'm sure there's places where ice freezes differently because it's like, oh, when it gets like this cold, the layers just go, you know.
Yeah, I bet that's true too. This apparently is in Greenland.
So this is where it's really cold,
Yeah,
probably.
it's very cold in Greenland. Um, but yeah, no, I really this one's another kind of satisfying one to watch.
Yeah, no, yeah, it makes the list for sure. It's a good one for the 100.
And that's what I thought. I thought this one was a top-notch one to show
You know,
for our 100th. It is not, I don't think it's our 100th cool shit in nature that we've done.
no, it's like our 212.
No, no, we don't do that many. We haven't been doing cool shit in nature that long.
Yeah, but like you do about two a week times
We have
84
a few weeks so it's only one.
minus the six plus the
No,
eight, cross the T, dot the I.
I don't think we're at 100.
I think we'd be close to 100.
I think we're probably like in 60, 70.
Prove it.
I'm not going to go back and count. I can promise you that right now.
Who is listening to this episode?
What is that?
Who I said, who is listening to this episode? Which one of our wanderers is listening to this episode that was like, I'm gonna go back and like start. Please, like, take a tally of.
If you do,
I'm.
I have I have two things to say. First thing is thank you. Second thing is you have too much time on your hand. Sir or madam, you have way too much time on your hand. And you need to go outside. That's what you need to do.
Yeah, in nature, exactly. You go get
But
it.
no, now let's take this time and let's look at the next 100. What kind of things are you, where do you see Wandering Ways wandering off to in the next 100?
More parks.
No, see, that's the exact opposite. I thought we would never visit another park again.
Oh, I mean, yeah, we were going to go somewhere else. Yeah, we are going to change it to food restaurants. Sorry, guys. No. Yeah, I think more parks. I think new parks. I think new trips. Now that it seems like the official COVID is over, with the way people are just kind of going about their normal business. I see gas prices here leveling off in the next while, making it easier, more affordable to go on some of these trips, especially these local ones. I think these local ones here in the U.S. are good. And just to go and explain what you did, what we saw, the things, the cool parks, the stories along the way, I think those are always fun to share and to do and to tell. Um, so I'm excited for that. I'm excited to see the growth of the social medias, the growth of the wanderers, how many new interviews, new people we meet, the places we see. I know Iceland is one of those trips we talk about, almost like every time we talk about like what trip do we want to do, you
Yeah,
know.
I definitely the next 100 I see somewhere in there an international trip.
Yeah, at least one, you'd
Yeah.
say. That's the plan.
Yeah.
You
I
hope.
that's right, you do hope.
You hope for some more sponsors. No. I would love that. I hope someone who's listening to the first episode, you listen to this 100th episode, then you listen to the 200th episode, you can compare all these, because really the growth there, we are growing, we are trying to change things and make this kind of your guide to these parks that we go to, kind of give you the information that we're given, give you a little bit of knowledge and fun facts along the way. So improvements on all that, I see. I see a lot more miles in the Rougarou. I see a lot more miles in cars. I see chasing storms, jumping on rivers.
Yeah, if there's some things that I really kind of really see happening in the next 100 is one, I see I will no longer have Jack. Um, I see that happening. So I won't have the Jeep anymore. My Jeep. Um, Two, the international trip. I really think that for sure will happen. There's even rumor that my sister and brother-in-law are going to Costa Rica next summer to live for a while. So maybe hop down and see them in Costa Rica next summer.
Hey man, the lodging alone is like a third of our trips usually.
Yeah. So
It's just
uh,
airfare at that point.
yeah, I mean, I don't know. I wouldn't stay with them the whole time.
No, no, I know, but like the big lot, like that's the like
Yeah, crash
uh,
on a couch once or twice, or
exactly. That
um,
adds up.
yeah, it does. That's true. The other thing I see in this next coming 100 is I think it's gonna happen. I think we're gonna get to Sequoia.
I think we should plan for it. I do like that. I think we might see Bigfoot. We don't know. You
Oh, I
never
was
know.
gonna save that for the end.
Oh, you were?
I was gonna ask you at the very end. Is the next 100 when we really do it and we see big?
No, it'll take we'll be in episode it'll be episode 449.
449. You heard it here first, everybody.
Yeah.
I'm gonna write it down. Episode 449. We are seeing Bigfoot.
Yep. And if I'm wrong, I'm wrong.
If he's wrong, he'll say to the camera, dead in the eyes, and he'll say, my bad.
My bad. Sorry, guys. We're here, episode 449, and no Bigfoots.
Yeah. And then he'll
We'll
just
try.
boom, he'll do one of these where it goes right to the camera and he goes, my bad.
I admit and take full responsibility. No, I like that. I like seeing that. I mean, I hope we encounter some new animals, some new animal friends and critters along the way. I think those are always fun, exciting encounters to have because you never know what you're going to get.
Yeah. I mean, you do hope you can get another bear experience from like a glacier, that type deal. You hope you can get something similar to the bison being around you real close. You hope to get cool experiences like seeing all the sockeye salmon or seeing a bunch of bear cubs kind of deal. Or seeing wolves. That'd be pretty sweet in the next 100 if we had like a real good wolf experience.
That would be nice. I'm hoping that the Lamar Valley closures kind of get those guys running around that a little more happily
Did you see rumor is that they're gonna open up that north end?
in July.
Yeah,
Yeah, they think it's possible.
I know it's kind of wild.
They partly because they got enough like donation money.
They got a fuck ton of money.
Yeah, that's
Which
why.
like good on them.
Right,
But they got
right.
a lot of money.
And that's partly why is because they're like, well, we can afford it.
Yeah.
Like,
This is what happens when we fund our parks, people.
right,
We can get things done.
right. Yeah, if we really just sat back and like, what is best for everything?
Yeah.
It works out so much better because that's how you like national parks run. It's like, what is best for the whole ecosystem,
Yeah.
including humans? Oh, okay, this. All right. Works out. Funny.
Yeah, we need more funding for these parks.
No, I'm super excited. I know I was almost like, fuck, the north entrance might be open by the time these guys come out. But no, it
I
was
don't think so. It's too
tomorrow.
early.
Tomorrow the south entrance opens up. Do you know how they're doing that with the license plates?
Yeah, they're doing it by license plate, where the last number, if it's odd or even, there's odd or even days. And then if like you're all letters, you're considered an odd if you're a mixture of letters and numbers and you end in a letter, you're considered even.
If you're a custom plate, you're considered odd.
Yeah, well, the custom if you don't have numbers in it.
Right, right. No, yeah, yeah, there's, yeah, exactly.
So yeah. But I think it's I don't know. What do you think of it? Like,
I think it's dumb because like people aren't going to get it because it's like I rented a car. Oh, now I have to wait till tomorrow to get into Yellowstone. I mean, it is waiting a day, and there's stuff to do in West Yellowstone or around the park on those days. So don't worry. Um, I think it helps. It's a,
yeah, I'm gonna tell you why I like it.
it's better than permits or the timed reserve entry, I think.
I think so too. I think so for a couple of reasons. I don't think you can do a timed entry kind of with Yellowstone specifically because it's such a massive park.
Well, you do it at the gates, right? You'd be like, you have a West Yellowstone pass, and they allow 1,000 cars through West Yellowstone a day. It's got to be like that, like
Yeah,
per
well,
entrance.
you'll flood the computer system with
Right.
it, especially right now too, because everyone's changing their plans and people are still going to be wanting to get in. So you're going to break the server down because I don't think reservation.org has that processing power. Um,
Well,
it's a great website, but I don't think it has it for the volume that it would get. And
that
it
park would change.
simplifies it. It simplifies it and it makes it so literally anybody, you do not have to have access to anything to get into Yellowstone. You just have to have your vehicle that has a
That's true.
license plate. You know, you don't
That's
have to have Wi-Fi access. You don't have to have a computer. You don't have to have a phone or anything. It could be anyone with a car. Um,
no, I
like
think that's fair.
probably have a bike and get in any day.
No, I think that's fair. I actually listening to that, I do think because you think of these parks, it's like sometimes on these trips, it's like, well, fuck, we took a left turn here and ended up in Bryce Canyon and we didn't mean to. Or, oh, we decided to spend 3 more days hiking the Grand Canyon because we wanted to do this trail. Um, Absolutely. You're absolutely right. I think it works for the traveler where
Yeah.
the permit system kind of sucks because it's like, well, I don't know what day I want to do going to Sun. Like, what if it rains one day and that was the day we're going to drive because we're going to do a hike the day it's dry?
Hmm.
So, no, I get it.
Yeah. But yeah, I think I'm interested to see how it goes.
I think in the next 100 episodes, more parks do go to like these type of entry system.
Oh, I think, yeah, the permits are gonna be the new norm.
Yeah, makes sense. Um, is there a breakdown? That was another question. Is there a breakdown that is your favorite that sticks out in the last 100?
Oh, in the last 100 to break down that.
Yeah.
If I had to pick a breakdown, um, oh, there is a breakdown that I thought we did a really good job of. Might be, might be the Black Hills.
Oh, okay.
The Black Hills might be the one I think we did a really good job of breaking down.
I
Uh,
like that one.
I think that's the one. It might be that one, or it might be one of our clusters that we did.
Yeah, there's some good clusters. I do think the Teton Yellowstone Glacier clusters is one of those breakdown trip like
Well, that's a good cluster. I think
planning.
the Lassen Crater Redwoods is a good cluster. Honestly, I think Rainier, Cascades, and Olympics a really good cluster.
Almost like we should do another one of those.
Yeah, maybe we need to do more clusters for everybody.
Yeah.
Finding multiple parks, multiple trips type deal.
I think that's the norm you see with these families. That's, everyone that is canceling plans in Yellowstone is coming from those type of issues. They are coming from
Yeah,
oh, I'm flying into Salt Lake, or, oh, we're driving up from New Mexico. Where do I go? What do I do? I mean, obviously, by the time this episode comes out, kind of the Yellowstone problem will be a little fixed. But I mean,
you know
just
what? You know what we may need to do to get more new wanderers and really diversify our traveling style, because I think it's going to be a bigger trend. Well, maybe not with gas prices, but I was going to say RV road tripping.
I do think road tripping versus flying is going to be that new norm more
Yeah,
so.
but and I think the RVs going park to park, or like RV park to RV park, maybe multiple stays in. I think that could be, I think we'll see a lot more of it because RV parks are usually a little bit cheaper. There's a wide variety of them, from super bougie to very minimal. And when compared to like going, staying in a hotel, if you have bigger families, or like renting a house and a car, I think the RV is a more viable option for a lot of people. So I think that's why it's going to blow up.
No, I do think you're onto something there because you do look at, I mean, go look at the road, go look at the campgrounds. How many tents are really in campgrounds anymore? It really is like the family has their RV or their trailer, their boat, their toys. The tents have become those like daytime tents that keep the bugs out.
Yeah,
Uh,
that, or it's the very young travelers where they just have their car. It's
the
like maybe three of them at most, or there's two cars and it's like six people. You're eating hot dogs most nights type deal, because you're just doing it hot dogs and PB&Js type
you're
stuff.
you're camping. You're
You're
doing
doing what we did on the 12th parks and whatever days.
yeah. No, I agree. I think you're right. You're getting more into a, I mean, even just with the stuff that's being like, think of like the Rougarou, the Jeep, right? The stuff that is becoming more readily available for customizing your car. There's
Mhm.
more cars, look at like Subaru, look at Jeep, look at uh Kia, Kia Sportage, right? They just came out with the Kia Sportage 2023 like off-road edition basically. They're getting into this like outdoor nature travel we saw during COVID, and we saw, because I think you're absolutely right. People saw it as like, I can travel, I can go places, and I still have the amenities that I want when I go to these places. Whether that is like your RV with pretty much all the amenities down to your tent camper that we did see, go. Um, and then you add that with the layer of like with the parents during COVID with the kids, that comes from somewhere with that love for outdoors. It's like, oh, we went on this big trip with my parents, and we went to the parks and we did this and that, and I love that. I want to relive that every day. So you're right. I think we're going to see more and more outdoorsmen. I mean, we're seeing it here in Montana. Everyone that's moving here right now is because they all camped here during COVID.
Yeah, I mean, Montana's a great place to camp. Um, so I guess looking also at the next 100, you don't have to say a specific person, but is there like a expert, or um, like a type of person you want to interview? Like, is there an area you want to deep dive more into?
I
Get
mean,
get someone who knows a lot more than us, which isn't hard.
uh yeah, I would love to bring on like an astronomer, someone with the stars. I would like to go out, maybe out into a field with them and then talk about it on the podcast. I would want to have like be like, oh yeah, we went to the Beartooth and just looked at stars all night, and then we interviewed that person on the podcast. I would love that.
That would be
Um, yeah, and then just those crazy, odd, like outdoor stories you get and you hear from people. Like, I'm super excited for just the ones that we don't know are going to come. The people that will walk into our lives that we haven't even met yet.
exactly. I would like to interview a through hiker,
Yeah.
someone who's done the PCT. I'd like to do interview a mycologist, a mushroom person, or a botanist. Um, I think those would be a lot of fun. I think the through hiker would be tip top, and I may or may not have. May or may not line one up. I don't know.
There's a girl I follow on Instagram who's doing the PCT right now through hiking it, and I was like, huh.
There's someone a former athlete of mine who's doing it right now,
Oh
and
wow.
I get the email updates. She also actually texts me if her feet are bothering her. She's like, I need help, and I'll be like, I don't
Oh,
know, you're
good.
out in the middle of nowhere. You can try this.
So that interview could happen if her feet don't fall off.
Yeah, that's what I mean. Like it may there. I think there's a high probability of that actually happening there.
That would be awesome. I would love that. It's always good to talk with people. I mean, I'm excited. We're going to bring Everyday Backpacker on in the next 100. I hope he's always a
Oh
fun.
yeah, I actually, you know what I'm excited about, and I don't know, it may not even happen, but I kind of hope it happens. But in the next 100, I will actually physically meet Everyday Backpacker.
Yeah, I think he'll be at the wedding for sure. So we'll make sure that happens.
Yeah, got to meet. You know, I've only ever seen him here on the podcast and doing the interviews. I haven't actually physically, visibly, haven't shook his hand.
you know,
So was it Ghost Mule? Isn't that what
Ghost Mule.
yeah,
Yeah, yeah.
his trail name? So
That's how he opens a lot of his episodes now. Ghost Mule. He really, it's stuck. It's his trail name.
yeah, I know. I love it. But now I got to be that guy for the 100th time as we're getting to the end of this episode and we are getting into the final words. So I just want to say final words, my guy.
You know, I know we joke about us not making here, but I knew we would make it here. I knew like you don't think about it until you're like, holy shit, that our 100th is coming up. Because it was like, what do we do? How do we throw this together? You know, what do we talk about? Um, but like that's what it is. It's just keep going. When you're on a trail, put one step in front of the other. Just keep going. You know, you'll make it down eventually, or you'll make it up there eventually. Just take your time, figure it out, do the steps, do what you think is right, listen to the advice others have to give to you, because you know rarely is someone giving you advice to destroy you or break you down. You know, they want to help. Everyone, I feel like, truly wants to help in this world. So when they do give advice, that's usually where they're coming from, is help in their own words, you know, in their own meaning, in their own way. So it's thinking about that. It's thinking about just everything going forward. You know, we got another 100 to do. That's how I see it. You know, I'm sure we'll do something for 200, but excuse me. But I do think that we're we're also not thinking about 200. We're thinking about the next 500. We're thinking about the next 5 years, the next 10 years, what places, what adventures, what content we need to bring, because we enjoy going outside. We love going outside. I was telling Mark, you know, me and Jared see ourselves as outdoorsmen because that's what we do. It's like, it's Friday evening. Do you want to go fishing, or do you want to go find something to do on Saturday? What lake are we on? What trail are we climbing? You know, so it's figuring that out, and living that life and doing that for another 100. All right, that's about it.
100%. Reverend's final words of wisdom. Stay beautiful, everybody. Cannot tell you how much I appreciate every single one of you for listening all the way through. If you've stuck it out for 100 episodes, you are a saint and a scholar person out there. But you know, it's been a fun 100. I hope to do many, many more. Zach's the dreamer. He's the one who looks in the far distance, and I'm the one who looks at the foot in front. That's why we make a great team. But no, I love the last 100. I think it was great. The Wandering Ways, the Wanderers, all of it, and I think it's gonna just keep getting better and better and better. And I just there's a lot of things, a lot of exciting things, even within the next month and a half that the Wandering Ways crew is going to be doing. So thank you all for sticking it out. And with that being said, peace out, everybody.